Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, probably one of the most effective pieces of gear that I own, and certainly one of the oldest pieces of gear I own as far as bushcraft equipment goes, is my Trangia stove. And, these things are bomb-proof, and I love them. And I've tried a lot of different types of alcohol stoves, commercially bought ones. I have pop can stoves that I've built. Of course, the cat food tin stoves. They all work and they're all effective to a point. But what I really dig about these Trangia stoves is that this actually has a lid that seals, and you can actually carry fuel in it. So if you don't use all your fuel, you can go ahead and snuff this thing out with the built-in snuffer. And also you can regulate heat this way too, so if you want to simmer instead of a full-on boil, you can do that as well. So it's really a nice little stove that has a lot of nice features to it for the price, and these things are dirt cheap. Now this is the civilian model. The military version is much bigger, but I think this is all I need, is this size. So we're just gonna burn the alcohol stove today, make a little coffee, so stick around. Now, running these stoves, there's a few things you're going to need if you've never used an alcohol stove before. First thing is you're going to have, besides the stove itself, you're going to have a way of transporting your fuel, because you certainly can't rely on just the stove itself, because you're going to use all the fuel in that stove primarily on one boil. So what I do is I find these little flip-top spout bottles. A lot of times they'll sell them at camping supply stores, and I put my fuel in those. I always mark them, so in case someone else is handling my gear, they know that this is fuel and it's not water or something else. The other thing with the Trangia, it doesn't come with any type of stand. So there are a lot of different type of stands on the market. And what I found to be the lightest, simplest, and nicest stand I can find is this titanium cross stand from Evernew. Let me show you how that works. So we'll go ahead and fill our alcohol. And I never really know how much I use, so I just fill this sucker up as much as I can. That should be plenty for what we're doing. But this Evernew stand fits on there just like that. Super nice. Another item you're going to need is some type of windscreen. So just a piece of heavy-duty foil will work, and that'll help block any unnecessary wind, and it'll just make the stove more efficient. So with these stoves, you can light them by spark. Oops. That's going. Yep, it's running. Once that thing gets heated up, it's gonna start going through the jets. What I've done is I closed up that windscreen around a little bit tighter, and I got a stick holding the windscreen shut a little bit more, and that's gonna, keep the heat more around the bottom of the pot instead of, escaping out the sides. Boiling about 12 ounces of water, and the boil time should be around 10 or 12 minutes. Haven't quite reached that mark yet, but boil time. As far as fuel types go, I primarily use denatured alcohol. I like denatured alcohol because you can buy it in bulk. You can buy big containers of it at hardware stores. It's fairly inexpensive. I know some people have used heat, the automotive stuff that you put in your gas lines to keep the fuel dry. If you do that, you want to use the yellow containers. That's the best. It seems to burn the best, but denatured alcohol just burns very clean. There's no soot, there's no mess with it. Like I said, you can buy a lot of it and then store it in containers and then just pour out into smaller containers like I do and take it with you for the day. So that's what I would recommend for fuel. I really haven't found anything better that I like. It just works. So here we go. That thing is raging now, so you have to move the windscreen out of the way. And then if you have either pair of like a multi-tool or a pair of pliers with you, you can lift this off, but I just use the tip of my knife. Throw that off. And then I can take the lid and I can snuff it out. Nothing new with these Trangia stoves. I mean, they've been around forever, and anybody who's getting into bushcraft usually ends up getting one. But if you haven't tried one and you're looking for an alcohol stove, I highly recommend getting one if you're on a budget. The budget bushcrafter should try one of these for sure, and because I think what you'll find is you'll probably end up keeping it for a very long time. It'll be a piece of your kit that you'll go back to time and time again. I've used mine on so many different hikes and trips, from 0-degree weather to hot weather. It's really nice and effective. It's a great way of heating up some water for coffee or for soup in the wintertime. You can do it underneath a tarp safely if you watch the heat output. It's just a really great controlled way of cooking and having coffee when it starts getting colder. So check them out, see if you like them. And as always, please like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer.